Well, Jordan Love made his return to Lambeau Field, and the Packers almost made a miraculous comeback, but fell short 31-29 to the Minnesota Vikings. I'm Dominique Yates. Joining me is Pete Dougherty. Pete, let's take it from Jordan Love. He had a really big passing performance. He threw some nice touchdown passes, had some turnovers as well. Overall, what do you make of Love's first game back since Week 1 against the Eagles?
Yeah, just, overall, blah or a little worse performance. If you're grading him, I was talking with somebody in the press box, C- at best. He did have some good moments as the game went on. He played a lot better, but when at the point where the game was getting away from him, he struggled. He threw that ball up for grabs to Wicks downfield. That reminded me, I think that was in the second half, but it reminded me of the interception he threw against San Francisco in the playoffs last year. Just a chance you don't need to take. If the game's not out of hand, you got a chance. Throw it away, live to fight another down. He did not look, he was obviously rusty. His mobility is limited. Makes you wonder a little bit, did they bring him back a week early? They just got to hope that this game knocked the rust off him, and that next week, even if he's not as mobile, at least he'll be, as usual, mobile as usual, at least they got to hope he'll be sharper because he did get this full game in.
Can you put into words that first half? I guess simply put, it was a disaster, but everything possible went wrong for the Packers in that first half.
Yeah, they just got scorched on defense. Even when they'd get a penalty to help them out, they'd give up a 3rd down and 14 completion. They really never got a handle on Justin Jefferson. He's just a super gifted player, and not having Alexander hurt quite a bit. But you got to find a way in this league. But O'Connell looks like he's probably a very good play caller. Packers never got a handle on what they were doing. Aaron Jones wasn't great, wasn't the reason that the Vikings won, but the Packers were honoring that run, and that probably opened up some other things. They basically just got scorched in the first half defensively, and Love wasn't sharp. And they could have come back and made the miraculous comeback win, but they were thoroughly outplayed, for the bulk of that game.
Are there any silver linings or positives you can take away from that fourth quarter? I mean, it was 28-0, at one point 28-22. They had some opportunities. Maybe you make a couple field goals or some, caught a few passes here and there. It could have been an interesting ball game. Are there maybe any positives that you learned?
That's the one thing that they didn't mention. They make those 2 field goals. They're both under 50 yards. It's a whole different game at the second half of the fourth quarter there. I wouldn't draw any silver linings from it. Love got a full game in, so that'll get him back to being in playing shape. His mind more than his body, just being able to read and react really fast. But even if they'd come back and win, it's not like that would have made their season. It would have been a nice win against a division opponent. That's what's the biggest thing for the Vikings here. For tiebreakers, those are big. But it's week 4, and these teams will probably be quite a bit different in December and early January than they are right now. So I think the game mattered more as a practical matter, just for a win or a loss against a division team, than drawing any big season-wide conclusions from this, other than, you do wonder if the Packers have a kicker problem here. It's 2 more misses. LaFleur expressed confidence, but we've heard that before, and that could change. One more miss, and that could change.
Yeah, so there still are plenty of questions about this Packers team still early in the season, but have to go back to the drawing board, get ready to head to L.A. next week to take on the Rams after losing 31-29 to the Minnesota Vikings. For Pete Dougherty, I'm Dominique Yates.